Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making an amazing crispy citrus glazed chicken from my new book, Preppy Kitchen Super Easy. So let's get started. First off, grab a large skillet. The sauce will come together super fast in one pan. Now we need a rasp and a beautiful orange. We're gonna get all the zest off of this. There is so much flavor in there. There is something so comforting and just really delicious about crispy chicken in a tangy citrus sauce. It's like perfectly sweet and salty, gooey, sticky sauce with that crispy chicken. You can't beat it. This recipe lets you make it in an air fryer, the oven, or by deep frying it. Tap your zest in. And of course, we also want the juice of one orange. Squeeze that right in. All the juice goes right in. Of course, fresh orange is delicious and necessary, but marmalade is your secret weapon. So about half a cup of orange marmalade is really gonna amp up the flavor and give you a wonderful, like glossy, jammy sauce. 3 tablespoons or 45 mils of rice vinegar. And if you haven't used rice vinegar before, it's lovely and mild and slightly sweet. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, some salty umami action. For a bit of a kick, you can use half a teaspoon of ground ginger or 1 teaspoon of grated fresh ginger. I have some on hand, so I'm gonna do that. And if you want some more kick, just use more. I love to add in a ton of ginger. Now you can use half a teaspoon of garlic powder or 2 to 3 cloves of garlic minced or crushed. Freshly crushed, not from that jar. If you're noticing a lot of choices in this recipe, it's because the book is all about having variations. My goal was to give you a ton of recipes that you could make with what you have on hand, and I also wanted you to be able to revisit the book over and over again and try the recipes out in different ways. So if you feel like using your air fryer today, you can air fry this. If you want to bake it in the oven, you can bake it, and if you want to do a shallow fry, you can do that. Each of those ways will be delicious, and there's full instructions in the recipe. As Lachlan and George have gotten older, life has only gotten busier, and that's really what inspired me to write Preppy Kitchen Super Easy. It's over 120 recipes that span everything from breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, and they are all really easy, really quick, and the book is full of time-saving hacks. I'm gonna show you how to use an air fryer if possible, Instant Pot, slow cookers, all your favorite time-saving gadgets, so you can really take that time you'd normally be spending in the kitchen and use it for the moments that matter. For some added heat, you can add an optional 1/4 teaspoon or more of crushed red pepper flakes. Let's sprinkle those in. All right, grab a whisk. All right, give this a nice mix. You're gonna break up that marmalade and get everything started. By the way, if you like these videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's 2 new recipes every single week, lots of shorts, and there's always something delicious on the horizon. And if you are like me and you're always short on time when you're making dinner, I will stage things out. So if I have like 10 minutes, I would get the sauce ready and just have it on the cooktop ready to start going, but it's all prepped out in the pan. It can sit here for quite a while. Then I'll do the chicken and it all comes together. You do not have to do this recipe all at once. Before I put that on heat, I'm gonna prep my chicken breasts out. You have 2 choices on this. You could have strips, like this, or you could have bite-sized pieces. Either way is gonna be great. I'm making strips today because I wanna do less work, and it's that easy. You can cut the chicken into pieces on the plate, and it'll be just as good. I'm setting my chicken aside right now, and we're gonna set up our dredging station, so grab 2 bowls and wash your hands first. In a medium bowl, I'm adding 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs. These give you so much crunch and texture, it's really great. And to get things nice and golden, we're adding about 4 teaspoons of veggie oil. Just measure it out and sprinkle it in. In a shallow dish, I'm adding 2 large eggs, just crack them right in, and 2, as well as a teaspoon of salt. Okay, grab a fork and mix the eggs up. Now with your clean hands, you're gonna mix the oil into the breadcrumbs really well until all the breadcrumbs are kind of a bit sticky. It'll feel a bit like wet sand, and because they're all coated in oil now, when they go into the air fryer or the oven, they'll be so crunchy and golden. Our last bit of prep is adding half a cup of cornstarch into a Ziploc bag. Pop that right in. So glad I don't have to touch that cornstarch. This is all set, so let's take our glaze onto medium heat and bring it to a simmer, and while that heats up and reduces, we can get all this completed. Transfer your chicken into this bag. You can kind of give it a shake as you go. Seal your bag off and give it a good shake. I felt the cornstarch through the bag. Ah! Grab one piece of chicken at a time, give it a shake in the bag to remove that excess cornstarch. Plop that into your egg mixture so it's wetted throughout. Drain the excess, and now we're gonna toss in our breadcrumbs. You can press it down to make sure that it's really well coated. Remove, place that on a baking sheet, and repeat for the rest of your chicken. I am so excited to start sharing recipes from this book. It was a labor of love. Meeting people on my book tour was one of the high points of the entire experience. I loved hearing your stories about food and the recipes you love, but I also loved the feedback and questions. People were asking for classic Preppy kitchen recipes and also for just quick and easy things that they could make in a snap. So, Book 2, Preppy Kitchen Super Easy, is here to answer all of that. It's over 100 recipes, savory and sweet, and they are so fast, so easy, streamlined, so they use pantry staples, and there are tons of variations throughout. You can make things as a cake or a sheet cake or cupcakes. Muffins could be loaves of quick bread. There's different variations for how you cook things, be it in an air fryer or an Instant Pot, the oven, etc. And also different ways that you can flavor these dishes. So you can come back to this book again and again, experiment, try different flavors, and really make these recipes your own. My chicken's all prepped out, and you have to take a look at this. My sauce is so nice and syrupy right now. Okay. Very nice and thick. Take that off heat. Now we're gonna whisk in about a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. It'll add so much flavor. So depending on your air fryer, you might wanna preheat it. It's totally optional though. Open your basket, spray it liberally. We're gonna pop our chicken in, and the amount of chicken totally depends on your air fryer as well. Make sure to give it some room to breathe so it's not gonna have an impeded airflow. And spray the tops. We're gonna air fry this at 400 degrees for 5 minutes, and then flip the chicken over and air fry for an additional 3 to 5 minutes until it is golden throughout and also cooked through. While that's air frying, if you wanted to make this in the oven, you would just lightly spray your baking sheet, set your oven to 425, place all the chicken pieces on here, and then after they're breaded and done, spray with cooking spray on top, bake for 10 minutes, and then flip them over and bake an additional 5 minutes. It's that easy. And if you want to do a shallow fry, have at it. Just add like half an inch or so of oil, go over medium to medium high heat, and fry until golden brown and cooked through. It's very easy, but I'm not a fan of the splatters, even though frying things is so delicious. It's time to flip my chicken pieces, so open up your air fryer. Ooh, look how golden that is. Okay, flip those over. We're gonna air fry these for an additional 3 to 5 minutes. It really depends, one, on your air fryer, but more importantly on the size of your chicken pieces. If you cut them into really small bite-sized pieces, they will cook through faster. These are gonna cook in 2 batches, but honestly, the real truth is that I have 2 air fryers at my house because I like to make big batches of things. Usually when you air fry something, it's gonna be crispy, crunchy, and delicious, which means that everybody wants second or third portions. So I have both of my air fryers going, and this is done in 1 batch. It makes things more efficient, and I just put them away after I'm done with them so they're not on my countertop. Pop that second batch in. While my chicken's finishing up, I'm gonna chop some scallions just for garnish. I think they add a lot to the dish at the end. If you don't like the taste of raw green onions, you can toss these in your sauce as you warm it up, and it'll cook it just enough to take the bite off. My last batch of chicken is almost done, so I'm gonna warm my sauce up one more time on medium-low, just so it's nice and hot. Transfer your crispy, golden, amazing chicken into that big pan with the sauce. Toss the chicken in the sauce, spoon that over, and get it nicely coated. Garnish with chopped scallions and sesame seeds, and just like that, it's ready to enjoy. Tender chicken, crispy, crunchy, golden exterior, all coated in that extraordinary sweet and umami orange sauce. It is so good. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, grab a copy of the book for the recipe, link in the description box below, and click on my Preppy Kitchen Super Easy playlist.